Thank you, Acting Speaker. And today I rise to contribute to the Parliamentary Workplace Standards and Integrity Bill 2024. And Acting Speaker, this is not just a legislative change, but an important step towards upholding the integrity and standards that our government and its representatives are held to. Of course, the Allan Labor Government's commitment to strengthen our parliamentary standards and integrity regime is not merely about compliance, it's also about ensuring that our democracy operates at its highest ethical standard. And of course, the new Parliamentary Standards and Integrity Commission will have a key role examining the behaviour of members of Parliament, ministers, parliamentary secretaries, which includes things such as bullying, harassment, sexual harassment and victimisation. Of course, this reform is rooted in our responsibility to the people of Victoria and to serve them with transparency, accountability and fairness. And of course, I want to acknowledge the contribution from the member for Bundoora and the Minister for Precincts and Creative Industries. And clearly he knows best out of all of us in regard to the behaviours or poor behaviours of people within the previous Parliament as his role as the Speaker. Unfortunately, when some of those on the opposition benches want to sling mud at the government and just say it's government people, then clearly the previous Speaker, clearly I wasn't referring to you, so I was referring to the member for Warrandyte. Sorry.
Through the chair, please.
Speaker. Sorry about that. So it's about all parties, and that's what this commission is all about, and this Integrity Commission is all about. Of course, it will provide crucial avenues for complaints to be heard and investigated through a proper process, and we know that the current arrangements are not fit for purpose and are out of step with the standards in other workplaces around the country. And of course, I don't believe that the weaponising of this bill by some opposite who are using this bill to attack the government, I think it's inappropriate and certainly inconsiderate of anyone who has experienced sexual harassment, sexual assault, discrimination, any type of harassment and bullying in any workplace. And I do remind those opposite that there was previously a report in 2021 in the federal government, at the time the Morrison government, the report called the Sparks and Helmer report, which has never been released, but certainly it names some of those opposite in this Victorian opposition in that report. And as I say, that report has never been released. And if those opposite thought that that held up the highest integrity, then I think they'd want to have another look at themselves in regard to that. And of course, I'd like to remind those present here that more people are affected by this inappropriate workplace behaviour than we know. And there was a survey by the Australian Human Rights Commission that found that only 18% of employees who have experienced inappropriate workplace behaviour have reported that inappropriate behaviour. So there's a lot of work to be done in that space where people can feel that they're safe to come forward and report any inappropriate actions towards them within any workplace, including this workplace. Of course, that's, Acting Speaker, that's 1 in 5 people that don't report any issues against them. And I just want to remind members in this chamber that they should be mindful when we're speaking about this issue in regard to that. Of course, the Minister for Women mentioned that in Federal Parliament, a survey revealed more than half of all employees experienced at least one incident of bullying, sexual harassment or attempted or actual sexual assault. And again, they're shocking figures. And it's the same workplace that in 1984 passed the world's first Sex Discrimination Act, making sexual harassment in the workplace unlawful. Of course, Acting Speaker, we've heard that Operation Watts was a very comprehensive investigation by IBAC and the Victorian Ombudsman. And of course, they identified critical areas where our current systems can and must be improved, and that's exactly what this bill will deliver. Of course, recommendations put forth in their report alongside additional measures to address inappropriate workplace behaviour within our parliamentary institutions. And of course, we are signalling a very clear intention to restore trust and confidence in our democratic processes, which we have heard time and time again is one of the most important priorities to the Victorian community. This, as previous contributions have mentioned, this will be the most significant overhaul of parliamentary oversight in the country, and it's a landmark legislation which culminates of an extensive consultation with a broad range of stakeholders, including government and non-government MPs, Victoria's integrity agencies, parliamentary officials and experts in law, workplace standards, human rights, equal opportunity and gender equality. And it's designed to address the findings and recommendations in the Operation Watts report and responding comprehensively to the identified shortcomings in our current oversight of parliamentary conduct. And it's the first legislated parliamentary investigatory commission within Australian legislation. These changes transcend party lines because it's about safeguarding the workers that work in this workplace. And for all its traditions and conventions, I agree with the member for Malvern. This is indeed a modern workplace and our standards here must reflect modern standards. This place is too important to have issues such as bullying, sexual harassment, assault or discrimination within its halls. And as an elected member of this place, I want a positive environment. I want to foster a healthy and safe, respectful workplace. And of course, as an ex-union boss who dealt with a lot of bullying and harassment in the workplace and sexual assault, I wouldn't stand for it as a union boss and representing members, and I wouldn't expect that any member here would stand for those types of actions towards any other person within this particular workplace or even outside of this workplace as part of their duties. So it's about ensuring that every member of Parliament upholds the high standards of conduct, both inside and outside the chambers. It's about creating an environment where every voice is heard and respected and valued, and that's exactly what we're trying to deliver. So in regards to this about upholding the high standards of conduct, I'd like to make an anecdotal reference to what the member for Bentley said about politicians being humans and their behaviours changing because there's always someone trying to catch a politician out, and it's been referred to by previous contributions. And of course, I don't know whether people know, but and I've probably raised it before, but I have an identical twin brother, and which is interesting at times. And when I was elected in 2018, I had to have a word to my twin brother, knowing that he enjoys himself very much. He likes a taste of wine and things like that, and he's got a very short fuse. And I just said to him that he'll need to pull his head in if someone has a go at him thinking that it's me. And he's not to be caught on camera like Barnaby Joyce, laying on the footpath after he tripped over a planter box or something like that. So, for the last 6 years, he's had to keep a fairly low profile, which is completely against his lifestyle. But for my sake, it's worked out quite well so far, touch wood. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, so if anyone's got relatives that look like you, make sure you encourage them to pull their head in so the press can't find something against you. But look, we owe it all to ourselves and future generations who choose to service and honour their communities by working in this place and to leave behind a system that's much, much stronger, that it's fairer and more accountable to the one that we founded. And this bill will allow for the establishment of this Parliamentary Workplace Standards and Integrity Commission. And of course, it will play an important role in receiving, managing, investigating allegations of parliamentary misconduct and inappropriate workplace behaviour, from bullying and harassment to discrimination and occupational violence. And we shouldn't have, I wish we weren't even talking about that would even be contemplated in this workplace. But it's able to receive anonymous reports and acts to encourage people to report misconduct, and that's what we want to eliminate, and that's misconduct in all those forms that have previously been described. This is a really important bill for this Parliament. It's taken a long time to get here. I'm pleased that it's a Labor government that's introducing this bill, and I commend the bill to the House.